welcome everyone back to The Swamp. The Swamp is an acronym.
Stands for some whack-ass movie podcasting.
And we're super freaking pumped today to have some guests. They are from the podcast 3 Tickets To, which I'll link in the description below. You definitely should go check them out. So hello and welcome.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey guys.
Hello.
God, thank you
for having
us. We were on your show a couple weeks back, and it was so fun that we just decided to do it again.
Oh man, that was.
Oh my god, I loved it.
That was.
So do you want to like introduce yourselves a little bit? Tell us what you're about. What you got? A little bit about your podcast.
Yes.
We're
Yes.
We're that pesky little Australian podcast over here.
Yes, we are 3 Tickets To. Yeah. I'm Elle.
I'm George. And I'm Dean.
Yeah, we're just, we're all family. So me and Dean are siblings. George and I are married. We're just one big happy family over here. And pretty much all we do is talk about movies. And then one day I was literally like to the guys, we should just record it and make a podcast out of it. Because we think we're funny, right?
I know we're funny.
Yeah, we do. So, yeah. So then one day we were just like, okay, let's just make a podcast. And then all of a sudden, we're like 10 episodes in. Now we're like 20 episodes in.
And we're starting to get a bit of a small following right now, which is good.
Yeah, so that's it, really. That's us.
It's just our normal discussions, in podcast form.
So definitely... I'll
Literally
link their show in our bio. Definitely go check it out. I think if you like The Swamp, you would definitely like 3 Tickets To. Similar vibe, just like pals hanging out, shooting the shit about cool TV shows and movies. So definitely go give them a follow. Also, what you guys are on Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. I'll put that in the bio as well, or the description. But so... we informed you that this was Chaos Month, and we said, free reign, do whatever you want, and you chose this movie that made me feel like I was having a stroke. I'm like, they took chaos very seriously, and so I just want to know a little bit about, so we're covering, was it Kung Pao Enter the Fist is the full title. And so just what is your personal history with this movie? Why did you, I know why you chose it, it's fucking chaotic, but sort of, your personal history with this movie, I guess.
Where to begin?
It was really funny. As soon as you said chaotic for your theme, it's the first movie that popped up into my brain. As soon as I read chaotic, I was like, Kung Pao. This movie is literally ridiculously stupid. And we grew up with this movie.
Yeah, this came out in 2002, and we've been watching it
ever since.
From 2002 to 2009, we watched this movie at least once a month.
Yes.
It felt like.
Yeah. Sometimes more than that.
Yeah, because we had it on DVD. It was a movie that was just always in the DVD player.
Yes.
So whenever it was like, all right, we're going to put on whatever's in it. It's Kung Pao. All right, we'll watch that.
And George is the same. George watched this movie a lot when he was younger. And now when we're all together, it finds its way to our daily conversation. So we talk a lot of the times in quotes, in references. So while we're talking to each other, we'll just chuck a Simpsons quote out there, or SpongeBob, just something classic, right? Somehow, I don't understand, but Kung Pao gets in there. It's part of our daily references.
I have to say, so this was my first time ever watching this film. I think same for Emily. Or, no, Emily, you said this was... somebody who was very stoned made you watch this, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Which was, it was one of those things. I'm glad I've watched it again because I don't remember much of it the first watch around. But no, it's really funny too because my friend Eli, he's definitely going to listen to this episode, of course. He showed me the movie and everything like that, and he's very much like you guys, big Marvel people, which I thought was just really neat. I was like, wow, huh? I don't know. I don't know how this sort of lines up. If there's some Marvel to Kung Pao pipeline or exactly.
There must be some sort of connection.
But yeah, no.
It's the original MCU movie.
It's the original MCU.
Oh, wow.
So this is the Steve Odenkirk universe.
Yes.
Yeah, that Jimmy Neutron, Barnyard, and the Marvel Cinematic
Universe. I was
Universe.
gonna wait to bring that up, but my mind was blown when I went to, because I immediately clocked this as being Thumb Wars.
Yeah.
You guys know Thumb Wars, his other. Yes. So I was like, this is giving me huge. As soon as he stuck out his tongue and had the little face on his tongue, I was like, this is huge Thumb Wars vibes. And then I looked it up. I'm like, oh, of course it's the same guy. Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the DVD, it had previews of Thumb Wars on it.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, on the DVD of it. If you go to like special features, it had like little bits of Thumb Wars.
Yeah, see,
I totally can't.
See, I didn't have the Kung Pao DVD, but I did have the Thumb Wars DVD.
I didn't watch that.
Thumb Wars.
That one was it. The God.
No, it's like
the God Thumb, the Blair Thumb,
God Thumb, Bat
All of
Thumb. Mm-hmm. But it's like YouTube before YouTube, right? Like YouTube didn't exist, and like nowadays this would be like a total YouTube poop. Like this movie would be a 3.5 minute YouTube video, but it was just like it was 2002, so somebody had to make it an entire film, which checks out. But I cannot believe I went to his IMDb. Back at the Barnyard, the TV series, he's the creator, and then also Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, the movie, he's the screenplay writer. Crazy. I mean, he has a ton of other like comedy stuff he's done, but those two things specifically,
crazy, right?
And I was like, how did this man? I guess, I guess that checks out. The stupid humor, that makes sense.
We were actually saying before we jumped on with you guys, we were actually saying this movie is very stupid, but you definitely need some talent to pull this off.
And
even though it's actually ridiculous.
And a level of confidence to make this movie.
A level of
the
confidence.
sheer idea.
Yeah.
So I guess if we want to get into a little bit of a recap, I guess contextually, if any listeners haven't seen this, it's this man, Steve Odenkirk. He like directed, starred, wrote. He basically just made this movie by himself. He took clips from a 1970s kung fu movie, which is a genre that's like really parodied a lot. And so he took this film and he took all the clips from it and then he just green screened himself in and then dubbed the whole thing with just his own words. And it's fucking ridiculous. And then they CGI in like a cow at one point. There's a fighting baby. There's aliens.
It is a fighting baby.
But mostly it's just him parodying.
Hearing someone that's only watched it once explain it back, it's like, this is ridiculous.
But basically it's a big parody on like 1970s kung fu movies, but also with like a very uniquely 2002 bad CGI humor, fourth grade boy humor twist, I guess. Yeah. Does any of you want to even attempt to do a plot summary recap of like what, like vaguely what is this movie even about?
Okay, so Steve Odenkirk. I don't even remember his.
I think it's just the chosen one.
It's just chosen one. Okay, so he's quote unquote the chosen one for whatever reason, and he's basically a loner. So pretty much in China, I don't think this rule is still current, but you couldn't have more than 2 children. So because he was the third child, they were coming to collect him or kill him, and he ended up being the chosen one. So as a baby, they went to go kill this baby, but he's got these very impressive moves, and he was able to fight and kick back, but
with some of the worst CGI you'll ever see in a movie.
Yes, it's just terrible. But he ends up getting away by rolling down a huge mountain.
So cute.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes. Anyway, so he grows up a bit of a loner, and he just fights people along the way because they hear rumors of this chosen one. And all of a sudden he comes across a Betty, and Betty wants to kill him, but that's it.
That plot's actually a lot better than the movie.
Honestly, that was impressive because I'm over here like, there's a woman with one boob. He fights a cow. Aliens come at the end.
Chipmunk.
I need gopher chucks.
But I was cracking because you guys said you quote this movie a lot, and I'm like racking my brain. I'm like, the only quote I can remember is when she goes like, wee 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 wee. I'm like, that's all I retained from this whole movie.
Anytime I come across nuts as a snack, all I can say is, that's a lot of nuts!
That'll be $4, baby! You want fries of that?
You just left with nuts! It's really
I do...
Yeah, they can quote the
I
whole
do have
movie.
to say, I think, you know that phrase, like the sum of the parts is greater than the whole or something like that? There's some phrase, I think this movie could have been edited down to under 10 minutes. The best moments... You know, and we could have, here on this day, we could have condensed it. But I guess in the end, I'm glad that I had to sit through and watch this whole thing. Because honestly, the whole time, I was just racking my brain of like who, what, where, when, why, how, what was the purpose, and that's what this movie wants of you as a viewer, is to just be like, what the fuck? What
The thing that like I was like so like absolutely baffled by was when I was doing like a little bit of like background research about this, was the fact that this movie had I think it was like a $10 million budget. Yeah.
10. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Crazy.
Where did it go?
Like someone fully funded.
Well, okay, you think, because it's one guy. It's like one man, basically. One man with a green screen. He, like, basically could have made this in his basement, I think. But do you know where that budget went? I can guarantee you.
It was the cow.
That 2002
It was the
CGI
cow.
was not cheap. It was bad. The cow and the baby,
die.
not cheap.
The cow and the baby.
I guarantee you that 9.9 million of that budget went to Baby's Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot and You Can't Touch This by MC Hammer.
Of course.
Yes.
When those two
most
songs came on,
definitely.
I'm like, how could he afford this? Who greenlit this movie and gave this man enough budget to get Sir Mix-a-Lot in 2002?
You got me curious. You got me curious to see how much money this movie actually made.
was
So, yeah, it had
$17
a
million.
$10 million
Yeah.
budget and it only made $17 million worldwide.
So
So,
it's
it
a
flopped.
success.
No, it flopped.
I would.
It made
It's
money.
like cult classic
money,
though,
though,
right?
right?
No, you gotta like double it in order to break,
Yeah, it's a
to break
cult
even.
classic. I think
Right.
that's true of a lot of things that are like very
It is.
beloved.
Oh, very.
It's like
Very much.
low budget didn't quite break the. I mean, he did this by himself, so it can't be. And he had all that Jimmy Neutron money,
Yeah.
so he probably just did this for fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, they heard that he was an Academy Award nominee because he produced Jimmy Neutron that got nominated for Best Animated Feature. So it's like Academy Award nominee Steve Odenkirk.
It won. That man has an Emmy.
Tom
That
Powell.
man is an Emmy
God.
winner for Back at the Barnyard for best daytime
Yeah.
Emmy for best children's program. Like that man has. Yeah.
Back at the Barnyard
For
won an
best
Emmy?
children's animated
my
show,
God.
yeah. I think daytime Emmy, but like same thing,
damn.
yeah. So this is like this man is esteemed, and I just appreciate somebody who takes their money and says, "I'm gonna make the stupidest movie ever made."
I think it's arguably easy the most stupidest movie ever made. And unfortunately, it really shaped our comedy for the rest of our lives. Us
Yeah,
three.
it really defines our sense of humor, unfortunately.
because we watched it that much as children. It's just really sad.
It's like, I ended up rewatching it this morning, and this is voice that we do around the house. Well, we yell like this! And it turns out there's some guy coming, it's like, oh, Joel's the one! Master Plane's in town! I'm like,
Plane's
oh,
in
so that's where we got
town.
the fucking voice from.
I totally get it though, because I was watching this and I was sitting there and I was like, I would have loved this when I was like 8 or 10 years old or something like that. I would have absolutely died.
Yes.
But I'm like fully like
Yes.
22 and I'm just sitting there like absolutely baffled. I'm like, this is a fever dream. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and I'm 22 just pissing my pants watching the movie.
You can't watch it for the first time at 22 and
Yes.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
You have to watch it as a kid for the first time. Then as an adult,
Well,
and you'll be like, oh yeah.
Or like
Does it have
3 very stiff drinks into the night. Like, I gotta say, I
Yeah,
watched it
minimum.
with Henry, who he like kind of had a sort of idea of like I'd have never seen a 1970s kung fu movie. I don't really know like what this is
Yes.
particularly referencing. It honestly took me a minute to get that this was like another movie that they were doing a thing with, because the description said a movie within a movie, and for whatever reason on like Hulu or wherever I watched it, it was like anime was the background. So I thought it was gonna switch to animation at one point. I was like, oh, a movie within a movie. We're switching to anime halfway through, but like I was just waiting for it to happen, and it never happened, which really fucked me up.
Nope.
But I watched with Henry, who he like watched with his dad a lot of those like 1970s kung fu, so he got it a lot more than me. But he was like, I think he had seen this
Yeah.
before, and he was like, we're gonna need to like 3 drinks and then start this. And I was like, are you serious? He's like, yes. Like
yeah.
we made some stiff rum tiki cocktails, and then we started this movie, and I was like, I was like, yeah, because it's like, as an adult, when you find yourself laughing at like a fart joke or something and you feel kind of immature about it, but you're like,
Yeah.
I can accept that bathroom humor can be funny sometimes. This was me during this
Yes.
film. I was like, I'm just drunk enough that like this CGI baby is really getting to me. Like this CGI baby is really cracking my shit up right now. And it was like once every like 10 minutes or so, something like the bitch with the one tit. Are you kidding me? That's brilliant. Like
Yes.
that's so funny. Who
The-
what
It's everything we've ever wanted.
Inspired Mufasa.
Oh, no.
CNN.
CNN.
That could have been a
sure.
lawsuit.
Here's my thing though, is like, it's got like you said, Dara, it's got like the bathroom humor sort of thing of like a 4th grade boy, but at the same time it's got like the woman with one boob and like a lot of like just like sexual innuendos, and I'm sitting there like the entire time I'm just like trying to figure out like what sort of audience this was made for, because I can't pin it down at all. I'm like, oh, it's for children. Oh, it's for like adults. Oh, it's for I don't know. I don't know where it falls.
No.
Yeah.
I think he made it for
it was
him.
really
He made it for
just
himself, really.
Oh,
And just whoever else
Steve
appreciated
Odenkirk's
it, good for
passion
you.
project.
I reckon he's just got like a bunch of nephews.
Yes.
He's just got a bunch of nephews and he's asked them, like, what do you think, what do you want in this movie? And they've just given them, like, their best ideas and like, this is gold. I'm writing this down.
And
Yeah.
Matrix stuff as
It's
well.
basically a school assignment.
Oh,
And eyeballs on fingers. I don't know.
I literally had written down, this is the creative writing assignment of a 4th grade boy with horribly undiagnosed ADHD. And like, as his English teacher, I'm entertained. As his English teacher, like, I'm like, wow, there's really something here, and I'm glad he wrote more than a page. But at the end of the day, I do have to send him to the school psychologist. like it's great, but there's just some things in here. We gotta talk these issues out,
Something's
Kyle.
not right.
Like, yeah.
Something's not right. Yeah.
It's definitely a Kyle.
What did you guys
What's
think
the name
of,
switch? So
Betty?
originally, it's like The Punisher,
Master
right? Is
Payne.
that the name? It's like Master Payne.
Ooh.
Master Payne.
Master
Master
Payne.
Payne,
Master
yeah.
Payne.
Master Pen will cut off your big toe.
It was the name switch to Betty for me. That I was like, so do you guys know that like YouTube series Bad Lip Readings, right? From like, I don't know, a decade ago,
Yes.
where it was
Oh,
just,
yeah.
and that was when I kind of caught on. I was like, oh, this is a bad lip reading of a 70s movie, which to my own, again, three stiff drinks in, but I was like, oh, I finally got it. Like 26 minutes in, I was like, oh, that's what this is. This is just some guy inventing the genre of bad lip reading, basically. And
Yes.
for me, it was always like the
Essentially.
delayed, like, I think maybe my favorite scene in this whole movie was the dog barking in silence and then sitting down and then the bark. I was like, oh, I get it now. Like this is the humor. But I do love like the Betty villain character that's like, oh, Master Payne,
Yes.
just kidding, my name's Betty now, and if you do not comply with that, it's over. And I was like, oh, this is Steve Odenkirk.
Yeah, you're gonna die.
Just like spewing shit into a microphone and dubbing it over a film because
But
he's bored.
isn't Betty a woman's name? It's like I was reading on IMDb before that he actually wrote like nonsensical lines so they could say it on set. So when he says like the quote, "Isn't Betty a woman's name?" he's actually saying like on set, "But isn't Yahtzee a family game?" So that's why it just looks so poorly dubbed.
Oh my god! One of my favorite bits of bad lip reading was when he's holding, what's the girl's? Is it Mei Ling?
Yeah.
He's holding Mei Ling, and what you see on screen is him shouting, and you obviously don't know what he's actually saying in person, but what you hear is, "I implore you to reconsider."
The calmest voice.
But you can see he's yelling, but he sounds so
That
calm.
or near the beginning of the movie where the guy's like, "Hey, who's he?" And this guy says this really long sentence, and it's just pure silence. And then at the end, it's just, I don't know.
Oh man, that's gold.
no.
Comedy
Which it
gold.
really took me like a hot minute to realize that was the situation though, because I didn't like, I just went into this dry. I was like, okay, I'm just like, let's just do it. And then I was like, there's something afoot here. I was like, this is not, I'm like, is my computer, like, do I have to
Is there something wrong with my
I was like, do I have to
TV?
like jiggle my HDMI cable or something? And then Henry
bad
was like, no,
stream.
like you just got, I was asking him questions. He's like, I'm not answering. You just watch. Just, you're gonna get it. And I was like, am I?
Like, here's the thing. Yeah, no.
Nothing to explain.
To me, this movie is almost like it's so bad that like at a certain point you have to like ask yourself, you're like, is this genius? Like, is this absolutely like just like is he like so like far ahead of us that?
That's what I was saying. Yes. That's what I was saying before.
Nope.
You need some kind of talent to pull this off. You need to be a talented person. You have to.
Yeah. In order to like use all that blue screen to put yourself into the movie, and to have such a quote unquote advanced sense of humor, to be so confident in yourself and in the humor that it'll work for a 90-minute movie.
Yes.
That's a fine line.
Yeah, I do think the line of whether he pulled it off or not, very subjective. Very subjective, because monetarily, we know for a fact he did not pull it off. But
he did not.
You know,
but in our hearts,
he did.
Yeah, I think it's probably the same thing with Film Wars. You know, it's just some man with a vision. Yeah. It's just had it. Do you ever get an idea?
A man with a vision.
It's just like you get an idea and you're like, until this has come to fruition, I shall not sleep. And this was this man with this absurd movie. And who gave him $10 million? I don't know, but I'm so glad to hear he blew it all in the music budget.
Yes.
The fact that this is 20th Century Fox that did this movie.
Yes, I know.
Like, such a big studio company. It's the reason why they're at Disney right now, I reckon.
Yes. You know what the really funny thing is about it? I love at the end how they have a preview.
It's fully fake.
To sequel. Can I just say, as a kid, I was like, yes! Waiting for this sequel. And I didn't realize till I was nearly an adult, where I was like, wait, I think that's a joke.
Yeah, because
childhood.
Steve Odenkirk said in the interview, like, after the movie came out, it's like, yeah, it was purely for a gag. There was no way I was going to make a sequel to this.
I thought there was going to be a sequel, and I was very excited about it for a long time.
I want to see, like, what has he been up to lately? Like, you know, because I know Jimmy, but like that's all back in the early 2000s. What has this man been up to as of late? I'm gonna take a little look, because I know that there were like
he did that spin-off show Planet Sheen for a bit.
According to IMDb trivia, he's very good friends with Jim Carrey.
I love that for him.
And I see the connection.
Yeah, because he wrote the second Ace Ventura movie.
Yeah, that's it.
And he was a writer on that sketch show in Living Colour, where Jim Carrey sort of, I guess you can say, he made it big.
Just saying, he also
Wayans
directed
brothers.
the second Ace Ventura movie as
Yeah.
well. So yeah,
wow.
that and Living Colour.
So you can see where that...
He also wrote the
That silly
screenplay
humor
of Bruce
comes from.
Almighty. That makes sense. That checks out.
That's a good movie.
That's a good movie.
And
And
the
my
great
tiny
sequel.
nipples went to France. I love Evan
Don't
Almighty.
diss the sequel. Evan Almighty is a great movie.
But
I
I
love
guess
it.
he had like said in like 2015, he was like, "Oh yeah, like the Kung Pao sequel, that was real. Like we're doing it." But again, nobody really knows if he like was joking or not. But so I guess within the past decade, he's said something. But again, yeah, this movie would take an equivalent sequel. I think would take $300, 2 weeks. Somebody's basement, like a crew of maybe like less than a dozen people. So I think if he really wanted to, I think he could. But I think the running gag of stringing it along is perhaps more enjoyable for him as a artiste,
probably.
if you will.
Yes, because he's got people like me still waiting for the sequel. I'm like ready to go.
Yeah, that's a really slim market.
Yes, it's just me.
It's just...
So it's just like all the different types of like jokes in the movie, like all the like a few of the cutaway jokes, even like the what's it called, the master.
Yes,
What's
there will be a chosen one.
Yeah, it's like,
Do
he
it,
told me about how there will one day be a chosen one. Cuts away. There will be a chosen one.
That's gold.
He then told me of the significance. Cuts back. It will be significant.
That's gold.
Austin Powers gag.
That is like an Austin Powers gag.
Which one came out first?
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers?
Yeah.
There you go.
But it's like
like an
that,
Austin Powers
the
gag.
intermission scene.
Oh
the
yeah,
film.
I hope they have ices. Yeah.
My nipples look like milk duds.
I got some yellow liquid for your popcorn, and it's non-dairy.
I'm really sorry to the listeners out there. I'm really sorry. We are
Especially if you
making
haven't
no
seen it.
sense whatsoever. I'm so sorry.
This is what our podcast is. We just randomly
I
quote
think
shit.
about like when we say what the movie is, they turn around and watch it, you know, because like why would you sit through an hour-long podcast?
Yes.
But some people do. Some people are like, I've never seen any of those
Yes.
movies, and I listed, and I'm like, you're so brave and so strong.
I
Yeah.
know.
Especially
I
this
know.
one here.
I know. What a commitment. That's loyal.
Yeah.
That's
Should
a
have
loyal
started.
following.
Should have started this podcast with an apology.
Yes.
A pre-apology.
We here at The
people
Swamp would
that
like
watch
to
it.
apologize to the listeners of this podcast and the viewers. of
Chocolate or
Kung Pao.
Vanilla is a game hosted by my lovely mother, Jen, about halfway through the show, where she just gives us 2 options of things, and you literally just say which one you like better. Super easy, and sometimes it's like referential to celebrities and media, and honestly, sometimes I don't even know what she's talking about, so you just pick one. So if it's like 2 things and you don't even know, just pick one. And so usually they're themed based with the movie. Jen, is there a theme this week?
Yes, there is a theme this week. This is all things about fighting.
Okay.
Great.
All right.
All right. So chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Ooh, vanilla.
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 Vanilla for sure.
Chocolate. Oh wow, it's the first time vanilla.
Finally.
definitely
I've been rooting for this
won the
for
battle.
ages.
It goes very thing.
True that.
That's true.
It's the
Vanilla ice cream is superior.
It's very superior.
There you go.
Chocolate needs to be the topping. Like, I'm happy
Yeah.
with vanilla ice cream with something chocolate on top.
Yes. Lately, I've been jamming vanilla ice cream with Milo, but I don't think you guys have Milo.
No,
What is that?
It's like a...
It's amazing. First of all, it's like a Nesquik, but it's a bit crunchier.
Do you guys have
Yeah.
Nesquik?
Yeah, like chocolate milk.
They might call it quick.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, chocolate. Yeah,
Yeah.
but just
Yeah.
Yes.
the powder. Just the powder.
It's just a powder. It's just a crunchier version of Nesquik, really.
Better for sporty kids.
Yes, it's better for sportier kids, according to our marketing.
But it's not healthier at
It's
all.
not
No.
healthier at all. But we put it on top of our ice cream.
It's the
Mwah.
best.
That sounds
It's like an
amazing.
Australian dessert. Oh, it's so
It's like you can get Milo paddle pops here, or just Milo ice cream, and you can buy it at the shops. It's awesome.
It's magnificent.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry?
This is Jen's way of giving us a heads up that eventually it's going to be something versus something else. Like there's a threefer down the line.
Oh, okay.
I'm a tried and true chocolate girl, so I'm sticking with chocolate.
No, I'm sticking with vanilla.
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 Yep, vanilla.
Okay, chocolate. All right, first one. First one's a 3. Snowball fight versus food fight versus pillow fight.
Snowball fight. Food is messy. Pillows hurt.
I'm gonna go with pillows.
I'm going to go with pillows because we don't get a lot of snow here.
Yeah, we don't get
So,
snow.
Yeah, well, I was gonna go snowball fight because I've always wanted to have one.
Would it hurt? Does snowball fights hurt?
Yeah.
It depends how hard you make the,
They can hurt.
or like how
yeah.
icy. There's 3 feet of snow outside my window right now, which is
oh, wow.
No way.
That's really cool.
no, it's not.
Well, a few months ago, I saw snow fall from the sky for the first time ever, and it was only just like little bits.
How? Where?
That's it. I was when I was in Torquay, and we went up like high in the mountains, and it was winter time, and it was just snowing a little bit. It's the first time I've ever seen snow fall before.
I
It was
wish.
amazing.
Wow.
I wish I'd never seen snow. I'm so jealous.
Really?
It's just like
No way.
it's just like negative 10 degrees. Oh wait, you guys have Celsius, right? I don't know what that
Wow.
math is. Very, very
I'm
cold.
guessing it'd be really bad.
Yeah.
It'd be cold.
Yeah, no. As much as I hate the snow, I do love a good snowball fight, so I will also go with snowball fight.
There you go.
Same,
Wow.
I'm going to take snowball. Okay, next one. The fight with Happy Gilmore and Bob Barker in Happy Gilmore, or the fight with Marty McFly and Biff in Back to the Future.
I'm going Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore, Bob Barker.
Now you've had enough.
I gotta go with the one from Back to the Future though, because like the context there with like he's trying to fuck his mom. I don't know. There's just so much going on there
Oh.
that
Oh,
that
yeah.
fight is. There are layers.
Yeah,
I'll love
I'm going to go with that one too. I'm going to go with Marty and Biff because
Interesting.
it's just my favorite.
But
It
the
is.
Happy
It's
Gilmore one's
like
just
my
so
favourite
quotable.
trilogy.
Now you're gonna get it, Bobby.
Yeah, no. I think I'm also going to side with the Happy Gilmore crew.
Same. I'll go with Happy Gilmore.
Nice.
Neo or Kylo Ren?
Neo, like from the Matrix.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, he's the blueprint. There would be no Kylo Ren if it weren't for Neo. He is the
Exactly.
prototype
That's true.
of that guy.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with
Neo.
Neo.
Easy for being
So
Neo.
controversially for me, I have not watched any of the Matrix movies, so I'm gonna have to go Kylo Ren here.
Wow.
Just because I haven't seen the movies, so I can't really
Red
pick.
scum.
Yes.
Okay, next one is all the epic battles from the Avengers or all the epic battles from Lord of the Rings.
Oh my god, all of them, just like as a whole.
Yeah, just as a body of work.
Within the
Yeah.
franchise, I have to say that like nothing gets me visually stimulated like the battle scenes in Lord of the Rings, because like those are real people. They had like millions of people in New Zealand
Yeah.
like running through the freaking valleys, and I don't know, that just like the practical
Yeah.
effects that they did in that movie, fucking crazy. Like just the sheer mass of it. Definitely, I'm a Lord of the Rings girl like through and through though, so I gotta go with that.
Shit.
That's a hard one.
That's
I'm
a
not
tough
gonna
one.
lie, you guys might be shocked, but I might have to go with Lord of the Rings.
Fair enough. No,
Because
fair.
it's
No,
It's Lord of the Rings.
I think so too, and I'm not just agreeing with you just because I'm agreeing with you. I think, oh my god, no, it's just there's basically the whole trilogy is, and the majority is like a big war scene.
Yeah, I know.
So
Yeah,
it's the essence of Lord of the Rings. So I'm gonna go with Lord of the Rings.
I think I'll change it up, and for the experiences that the Marvel fight scenes have given me in the cinema, with Spider-Man, with the Avengers movies, with like Captain America movies, I think with the what's the right wording? The glory it gave for me as well. I just felt like this is a glorious moment in the cinema. I'm observing this with my own eye. I didn't get to have that for Lord of the Rings in the cinema. I was too young. Even though I watched it like a few months ago, I'm like, holy shit, this is good.
Yeah.
It's all like the practical effects, and it's just amazing. Like that just felt like war.
Yeah, fair enough.
Whereas I think the glam, I'm gonna go with the glamour of Marvel.
The glamour.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to sort of forfeit and say Marvel because I've only seen a handful of the movies, but I've never seen any of the Lord of the Rings movies, which I'm just waiting for the
there
day
you
that
go.
they're like...
It's coming.
I know, you're going to force feed me them.
Oh, there are your next 3 weeks of episodes. Just each Lord of the Rings
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, right.
But yeah, so I'll have to... I'm going to have to just out of sheer, like, I have to pick Marvel.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm
That's
gonna
cool.
pick Marvel too. Definitely. Yeah, I like the one in Civil War
Oh.
where they're at the airport,
airport
and
scene.
Ant-Man comes out of the water and stuff. Yeah. Okay, Rocky or $1 Million Baby?
Rocky.
100%.
Wow, see,
Rocky.
I was
No
feeling
question.
conflicted, but like now I feel like I've got to defend $1 Million Baby because like those are two of the only like sports movies that I like, if you can consider them sports movies. Like I don't really fuck with sports as a movie genre, but I really like Rocky and I really like $1 Million Baby. But there's something about the euthanasia twist where like, you know, I don't know, it just does it for me. So like, you know, Adrian doesn't have to pull the plug on Rocky. If that was a situation there, then like maybe we'd have something, but I gotta go with $1 Million Baby.
I definitely watched $1 Million Baby like at a, like way too young of an age, and I definitely talked about it on the podcast before. I was like 8 years old, and I like wandered into my grandpa's room while I was watching it. And I was like, like even
He's
then
like
I knew
sniffling,
I was
going,
like,
go away!
I like knew I shouldn't be watching it then, and even now I'm like, yeah, no, that shouldn't have happened. But Rocky's great, so I'm gonna stick with Rocky.
Just Rocky's iconic. It's a classic. The ending of the film, like even though he loses at the ending of the first film, you still feel like a bit victorious that he made it there.
We also grew up with watching Rocky a lot, so it's also a nostalgia thing.
And because of Rocky, I tell I greet people every day going, "Hey yo."
What about you, Jen?
Oh yeah, Rocky for sure. It won Best
Awesome.
Picture, right? Yeah.
Yes, yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay.
They both did, I think.
Rocky 1 and 2?
No, I think Rocky did and $1 Million Baby. Rocky 2. I wish.
I was like, Jen, there's a 2, there's a 3, there's a 4.
Definitely not Rocky 2.
This is a 5.
They all won.
Yeah.
Especially number 5.
Sorry. Okay. In the movie Footloose, the fight before the dance or the chicken fight with the tractors?
I haven't watched that movie since I was like maybe 9. I'll just say the chicken fight with the tractors. That sounds more.
I haven't seen Footloose since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I've never seen Footloose.
Really?
Oh.
I'm gonna
Never.
go chicken fight.
I'm also gonna go chicken fight.
Yeah, chicken fight. It just sounds
Yeah,
funnier.
chicken fight.
Sure, why not?
fight.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Okay, yeah, same chicken fight. Em, did you pick the chicken fight?
I fully know what she's referencing, but
All right, Jake Gyllenhaal in the movie Southpaw or Mark Wahlberg in the movie The Fighter?
Mark Wahlberg and Fighter.
Yes, I'm gonna
Yeah.
agree.
Great movie. Both good movies, but like Mark Wahlberg and the Fighter.
That's the only one I've seen
He's
anyway.
getting trained by Christian Bale.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Like, by
Christian
Dickie,
Bale
like, it's pretty
plays his
good.
brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Yep.
But I can't remember the last name, but I think his name's Dickie in the movie.
Dickie,
Christian Bale.
yes,
Yeah.
Dickie.
Great movie. I mean, I actually watched that a few months ago, funnily enough.
That's nice.
Yeah. Great movie.
I know my boy Jake G has been under some recent controversy, you know, with the Swifties, but something about
That's true.
Something about Mark Wahlberg does not rub me the right way. And I used to go to the same grocery store as Donnie Wahlberg, and I would like see him at the Starbucks all the time. He was like, "Oh
Really?
yeah, he was like a Boston local guy. They like run those restaurants, Wahlburgers or whatever. But I don't really fuck with the Wahlbergs.
Oh, we've had some.
Yes. We've had Wahlburgers.
We've had Wahlburgers. They're very
Yeah,
exciting.
they're like from like around the same area as us, but they're like kind of shit people. So I'll go with Jake G. Even though he didn't go to Taylor Swift's 21st birthday party, like we'll have to let it go. I'll pick Jake Gyllenhaal in Southpaw.
Look up Mark Wahlberg and Vietnamese people, and then I think you'll get your answer whether or not he's a good dude.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, he did time,
Yeah,
right?
it's bad.
Yeah.
But no, while he is a shit person, that movie was pretty decent. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Southpaw didn't really, I don't know, stick with me.
It's okay.
I just remember Rachel McAdams bleeding out on the floor, and that's it. But I remember
Oh,
the
wow.
fighter being really decent.
Fun movie.
So I'll go with Marky Mark.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, me too, Marky Mark. Kill Bill or John Wick?
Kill Bill.
John Wick.
John Wick.
John Wick is like my favorite fighting movie of all
Yeah, no.
time.
Yes.
So good.
Controversial opinion, I think Kill Bill is Tarantino's most overrated movie.
Interesting.
Or movies,
I
yeah.
didn't know that. You've done it.
Oh no.
I think there's a problem with the feed.
I was gonna say, I've got the Kill Bill poster on my wall right behind me.
Oh, wow. Jeez. There's lights around it too, so...
Nah, I love that movie. Definitely. Kill Bill for sure. That's probably my favorite Tarantino.
As Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, or Django, or Pulp Fiction, or Reservoir Dogs. I can think of many other better movies, but it's still good. It's just, I think it's a bit overrated.
That's how good he is as a director,
Yeah.
so...
It's just good.
They're great movies.
I should shut up now.
Yes.
Oh, I actually like John Wick.
Traitor.
The
We
body
got Jen on our side
yeah.
again. Yes.
Jen's gonna be on our show from now on.
That's what I was going to say. Not quite that. It's now 40.
Yeah, we're rebranding, so 4 Tickets 2 works.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna have to start booking Jen in advance now. She's getting too popular.
All right. Last one. It's a 3, and it's Charlie's Angels. So the one from the late 70s, the one from the early 2000s, or the one from 2019.
Which one is Drew
Early
Barrymore?
2000s.
Really.
Early
2000s.
2000s.
That one.
Yeah, 2001.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know I'm
It's the only
going
one I've really
with
watched.
I'm going with the original. Yeah.
Yeah? Is that with Farrah Fawcett?
Farrah Fawcett. And
Yeah. Farrah
I don't know the
Fawcett,
other- and the other two.
Jacqueline Smith, and Kate Smith. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Kate
Then
Jackson.
you got
Kate
Lucy
Jackson. Yeah.
Liu, Cameron
Yeah.
Diaz, Drew Barrymore, Matt LeBlanc is in them.
Yeah, Tom Green.
Tom Green's in them. Luke Wilson, Crispin Glover,
John Cleese?
John Cleese, Chris Pontius from Jackass is in the movie.
Oh, wow.
Is in one of them as well. It's star-studded, and Bill Murray, who got replaced by Bernie Mac.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
So
well,
that
cast.
was chocolate and vanilla fighting version.
nice.
That was fun.
There was some.
That was really
That
fun.
was fantastic.
You did stir the pot. There was a little conflict going here, I must say.
You need a bit of salsa, though. It's made it interesting.
But so, as always, Jen, thank you so much for hosting this
Thank
wonderful
you.
little segment.
Love you guys.
Hopefully, if I remember to do it, I usually never do, but hopefully I'll post these on Instagram. So anybody wants to go to our stories and vote, hopefully I'll have this up like sometime this weekend. I try to say it so that I hold myself accountable to do it, but it's like 50-50, so we'll see. All right, so
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jen.
Thanks,
Have an
Jen.
awesome week. I love you.
Thanks, Jen.
Bye.
Nice
Great
meeting
meeting
you.
I would say though, like, if we could do like a family tree of sorts of like every referential piece of media that came before this that then fed into the creation of this film, and then from this film,
Yes.
like genre-wise, what it influenced, because I really do think like bad lip reading, like YouTube poops, we can go into like this
Yes.
is 2002. It was really early for this. I mean, this type of humor, fourth grade type boy humor has always existed. Fourth grade boys have always existed. But I think specifically in YouTube, I want to say, yeah, like the 2005 to 10 range, these types of videos like Asdiff Movie and like, I don't know, off the top of
Oh
my
my
head, I
God.
can't just like, I don't know, name them, but just those like stupid, blunt, this is funny because it's stupid humor type videos, I think were really at the forefront of like the success of YouTube
Yeah.
culture. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much this film in particular has to do with that, but like films like this that kind of set that precedent of like you can do something
Surely.
that's smart and thought out, but also so stupid and so dumb.
Yeah,
Definitely.
so dumb.
And like the family tree of like media conglomerating into this film and then spreading out of everything after 2002 that's just so like, I don't know, in the same vein of this movie, I think is probably a lot more than Steve Odenkirk even realized at the time.
I agree with you because I can't think of any other movie that involves ridiculous lip reading.
No, not the top of my head. But with a movie like this, I feel like it'd definitely be more appreciated today than what it was in 2002 because like sense of humor that I see on like Instagram or TikTok nowadays is very much based around irony.
Yes.
Like it's more ironic that it's funny than actually being funny. So I feel like a
like
movie like Kung Pao, people would love it today if it came out.
I think you've got a point there because I feel like comedy on the internet these days is extremely dumbed down.
100%.
It is.
Oh,
isn't it?
it's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's
It's
extremely
one of those things, like,
dumbed
I'll end
down.
up finding, like, myself laughing at the stupidest shit. I'm like, wow, my sense of humor is broken because of, like, the impact that the internet has had.
Yes, of
Yes.
course. Of course. Some really
Like,
stupid shit.
it'll
makes
be
me
like a
laugh
video
now.
of like someone tapping their cat in their forehead, but they use that old cartoon sound effect of boom,
Yes.
and I'll just start
And
pissing
you're
myself.
like, ah, it's ridiculous.
And it's like
But I
2
think
seconds,
as
the whole
humans,
video.
we are programmed to find certain things like that funny. Like when you bonk someone on the head and there's a bonk noise,
Yeah.
it's like you've gotta laugh a little bit, whether you think it
have
was
to
stupid or
laugh.
not. Yeah, you gotta laugh a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I think definitely people who grew up on that like early YouTube culture would maybe appreciate this movie in like I think if I stumbled across this, I would have been like, what the fuck is this? And I would have just kept going. Personally, I would have been like, what like, kung fu, referential, making fun of, I don't know, whatever. But like, watching it, I think I kind of did get that, like, it's kind of cyclical, like the finding stupid things funny, and I think people our age in particular find stupid things really funny just because
Yes,
of that, like,
we really do.
Yeah,
definitely.
era of people. I don't know. Again, like Thumb Wars, like we all grew up with like, oh, it's so stupid. Isn't it hilarious? Yes.
Yes.
We're flashing something in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Laugh.
He created that. Like, he probably gets money. If anyone ever uses that, I think they have to pay him royalties.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
That is insane.
For faces on thumbs.
He's waiting.
Yes.
He gets his $200 a month in royalties, check sent in the mail, probably.
Right? That's what I'm saying. That's literally the dream. Get that Nickelodeon money.
Odenkirk, you genius.
Like write the
is.
screenplay to Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. Like write some Nickelodeon shit. Give it to the corporate overlords. Get a $1 dollars, and then make some stupid shit in your basement with your friends. Like that's my dream, right? Like
And that is a dream, right?
get people to
make
fund your
stuff
stupid
that
passion
you
projects.
think is funny.
Yeah.
Yes, to make stuff that you think is funny. And that's all that really matters.
We were actually talking about the episode that we recorded the other day. We have like a great respect for comedians that just like really have confidence in what it's for all comedians. You got to have confidence in what you think is funny, but you care more about making yourself laugh than what you do for the
Yes.
audience. Like a Norm Macdonald, like an Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
There's so many more other examples, but I think this is another example of it. Steve Odenkirk and Kung Pao.
Yeah.
He thinks it's probably fucking hilarious.
Yes,
It's like,
and
if
that's
you guys
enough
think
for
it's
him.
funny, that's great. But as long as I think it's funny, that's all I care about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a passion project
Yeah,
for
it's
him.
a $10 million home film.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure, like, you guys can all, like, probably relate to this as well, because, I mean, I feel like that's, like, what Dara and I were doing, like, when we started this podcast, is, like, okay, we're just gonna, like, we make each other laugh, like, fine, we're just gonna put out a podcast, because it's silly and goofy, and we love it, and I'm sure
Exactly.
you guys are the same way. This is just,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Exact same way.
exactly.
Exactly.
That's exactly how it came about.
this is
Like,
just our
oh,
Kung
we're kinda
Pao.
funny, right?
Right?
To us.
That's so deep. That's so. Oh my god, you're making me emotional right now. Is this my Kung Pao? Is this my passion project? But for real, but I did have a question. So you are given a $10 million budget, and you have to voice over a pre-existing film that will then be released to the public. What are you picking?
Yeah.
Schindler's List.
Oh, wow.
Oh, jeez,
But what are
We're picking the saddest movie ever made. I'm going to turn that shit into a comedy.
He's got a vision.
Jesus.
You gotta go polar opposites on it.
I think just the Australian accent alone is gonna do something there.
Oh, crikey. They're all going down. Oh, shit.
Oh, Jesus. My God.
You don't have to put on a voice. That's what they think we sound like anyway.
Exactly.
Oh shit, Dean. That's really set the bar.
Well, it's just straight off the top of my head.
I was
Fuck, okay.
To give everyone a moment to think, I do have my answer predetermined, and that is that I'm going to do the Godfather as characters from Mario. Obviously, Nintendo will have no issues licensing this out to me. The Godfather himself is Toad, of course, and just people are coming at me like "Wahoo!" and like Mario Kart noises. Everyone's just making Mario Kart noises the whole time during The Godfather, and I think it would be an upgrade.
I think
to be honest,
I think that's genius.
For sure.
For sure.
Look at how they massacred my boy.
Dara, what inspired that? Because I remember when I was watching this movie in particular, I heard, Master Payne's, he had like this little laugh, and it literally just sounded like Waluigi's laugh the entire time.
Waluigi. Yes, that's what I was like. I wish they were like doing a at all times. So I feel like I'm referencing YouTube a lot in this episode, but there's a great person who does covers of songs as Toad, and they have one of Chandelier by Sia, which just rocks me to my core every time. Toad as Sia, like go look it up. And so I was like, this kind of could be Mario, and I'm like, if Toad could be the Godfather, that's it for me, right? So that's what led me to that. Yeah, thank you for tracing my route, Emily.
I think
does anyone?
I think anything that is over voiced by Toad is hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Like it has to be, right?
He's hilarious to begin with.
He is. Oh, gee, can you even think of anything?
I've got one.
Oh,
I've got
not
a proper.
Schindler's List?
No, I've got a proper one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've
I
got
got one
gangster
after
movies. So it's Goodfellas,
Yes.
but everyone sounds like Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob.
Money. That's all I've got. Money.
That wasn't his voice.
I know.
This is you saying money.
That little sound when he's walking, he goes like when Mr. Krabs is walking somewhere. Anytime a normal person is walking, he's like that was great.
I've always wanted to be a gangster.
Oh, no. I've got one, I think.
Oh shit!
go.
Now,
It's not
okay.
very good.
All right.
Basically, I would just take any poor 90s comedy movie.
Right.
Like, the only ones that come to mind are probably the Pauly Shore
I was
movies,
gonna say Biodome.
like Biodome, In the Army Now, just any of those crap movies. And I would pretty much... all my budget would be going to A-list celebrity actors voicing over like Pauly Shore and all those D-grade celebrity actors like Carrot Top and I can't think of. Can you think of any other D-grade
You're
celebrities?
gonna get Brad Pitt on Buddy. Whatever that
Yes.
noise that he makes.
That's really disgusting.
You should get
Yeah,
Pauly
that's
D
really
from
No,
the
just mix it
Jersey
up.
Shore. I think with your 10
Well,
million,
he's an
easily
A-list
get
Oh my
more
God.
Pauly D.
I can't go on any podcast without hearing about Jersey Shore. Now from you guys, I hear about it from these guys every week.
We're still watching Jersey Shore,
Yes.
guys. Still watching it. We
And,
just
like-
started family vacation.
Yes.
As Americans, I'll tell you, that's not exaggerated. That's what it's like to live in this country. That's accurate.
That's fantastic.
Just my favorite thing about Jersey Shore is the South Park episode. It's a Jersey thing.
Emily, have you got anything?
See, no. It's a good
Sorry, this is
question.
a
It's
tough
good question.
question. This is
I don't
a
have
lot.
a setup for it. I don't have like a specific vision for it. But for some reason, the thing that popped into my head was The Shape of Water. Just because I feel like I can do a lot with the context of just this woman trying to fuck this fish man. The only other thing that I can think of is like the
go on.
Muppets came to mind, but that's already just gold. So like, why would I mess with that? You know what I
Yes.
mean?
That's
There's
already
nothing else I could
hilarious.
do there.
Like, imagine the Muppets, but it's like imagine doing like a parody of like No Country for Old Men, but it's all Muppets.
Yes.
It's the same dialogue,
Yeah.
like same drama.
Oh, Lord.
You don't
Now
change
you're onto
anything. It's just
something.
Muppets.
No, that's brilliant because you know how the
only thing-
Muppets have like the Christmas Carol or like the Muppets
Yeah.
Treasure Island, like the remakes.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
Muppets Schindler's List. Not an ounce of humor. It is a shot-by-shot remake of Schindler's List, but it's the Muppets.
Yes.
Just and
Imagine
you-
Kermit the Frog, or like Fozzie Bear going, waka waka, I could have saved them all, waka
Jesus
waka.
Christ.
Something like
no.
that.
Oh,
And you shouldn't
Christ,
laugh,
Steve.
but you just have
No,
to.
you shouldn't.
That's
It's like, do you know it's a genius movie that tried to do something like that? Team America World Police. So
yeah.
the original concept of that from Matt Stone and Trey Parker, who are the creators of South Park for people that don't know, was that they ended up getting the original script for The Day After Tomorrow, that disaster movie that came out around the same time.
Oh, with Dennis Quaid?
Yeah, with Dennis Quaid. They had the script for it before it came out.
How?
I don't know how, but they managed to get it, and they wanted to do a shot-for-shot remake of the movie, but with
Stop
puppets.
it.
But then
Oh my
I think
God.
20th Century Fox is going to sue them if they
no
did
way.
it. So they ended up just doing Team America.
I'm surprised that stopped.
So the Muppets thing with Schindler's List was kind of going to be my idea. Not exactly Muppets with Schindler's List, but I was going to say just take any really serious, dramatic movie and just replace it with someone who was really terrible at impersonations.
Boy in the striped pajamas.
Yeah, if you take...
With you.
With me. Just anyone who's really poor at accents and you're just like, hello! Like, that's it. That's all I can think of. Alright?
Just prove my point.
I'm sweating. I'm really sweating right now. Yes. Wow. That's
good
a
one,
great
Dara.
question.
That was awesome.
I
because I was
enjoyed that.
thinking
I
about
got a
it.
bit carried
the whole,
away.
No, the whole time watching this, I was like, what would I do? What would I do with 10 million, a green screen, and just not a care in the world? Because that's clearly what this man had, and I was like, yeah,
Yes.
that's a lot to think about. But
Wow,
so,
to be
do
in
we
his
want to get into
position.
our
Yes,
regularly
yes, of
scheduled
course.
questions with our lovely guests? So we
All right.
always like to add in a little bit of structure. I know, crazy, right? To whatever this is. But
I
so
love
we
it. I
always
love it.
do, and I will preface that I let them know ahead of time, so we're not just, I don't know, going in. Sometimes I forget that we do this,
Too many times I forget that we do this.
but so I guess we'll start with fuck, marry, kill is pretty easy.
Yes.
Who would we consider to be the three main characters of this movie? Obviously,
Master
the
Payne.
chosen one, maybe
Yeah,
Betty.
Betty.
Maybe
Yeah,
Betty.
Betty / Master Payne, and then is it what's her name? Ling? Is she like
Mei
the,
Ling?
she's like-
Mei Ling.
The one with
Mei
the
Ling?
one tit.
Oh no, that's
No,
not
is
the
that
one,
not-
the one
she's
with the one
no,
tip.
she's the
It's been a long
she's the
time.
assistant. But we can this
Yeah.
third position's very subjective. Who would we consider to be the third like main character in this movie?
I was gonna say maybe we could do guy that chokes on.
Oh,
the
yeah. Just Master
guy.
or something.
The
Oh,
one
Master
that
Tang.
You know, the one
The
that's
master.
like the one that's like. Ugh.
I'll see.
yeah.
you
Okay.
like
So
this,
yeah,
yeah.
Betty, the chosen one, Master Tang. So.
Yeah, Master
Yes.
Tang.
Oh, I think
Tang.
Tang's
Yeah, that's it.
Obvious. So
Yeah.
you fuck
Okay.
the chosen one because he's the chosen
Right.
one, right? Then
Right.
you marry Master Tang because he seems to have his shit figured out, and then you just kill Betty because he's the bad guy, and then you get to be the hero.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
No, I don't
For
know
some
about that
reason-
either.
No.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know about that.
Yeah, right? Right?
Yeah.
I don't hate Betty. I don't hate Betty's character. I don't know what it is.
No,
Maybe I
agree
just
with
think
you.
Maybe I just think he's super funny, but I feel like we'd get along, and I think I'm gonna marry him
Yeah.
instead of Master
Ah.
Tang, and I'm gonna kill Master Tang, and then of course I'm gonna fuck the chosen one because he's. Do you see that little face he's got on his tongue? He's going over to.
Jeez, I didn't even think about that.
Ah,
You just changed the game.
Oh, I think with Betty, I think it'd be a really sweet marriage. Like, imagine if like your doona covers are like tigers or birds, and it's just you're lying in bed together. He just goes tiger, 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 birdie, birdie. I think it'd be really sweet.
well, there you go, Dean. That's your answer. What else?
Yeah.
You got?
Right?
Uh,
He seems like a gentle. He seems like a
gentle
gentle man
soul.
if you really
He's
know
a
him.
gentle soul.
Yeah.
A gentle
And
soul.
he likes music.
Yeah.
And he likes music.
Yeah, imagine going to
He's
town
got
while hearing you
taste.
don't want nothing unless you got buns, hon. It works.
Okay, so what's the rest of the answer?
Alright. So, I'd kill the chosen one.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I feel like I'd want to go something a bit
Ooh.
different. Because maybe that I think that tongue would be too much for me.
Okay.
I feel
Bit
like,
sensitive.
a bit too much in there. I know you can go a bit lower, but I think it'd be a bit too much.
Oh, Dean, please,
So-
for the love
Yeah,
of
but
God.
it's true though. So I think I would fuck Master T. What am I saying? Jesus
I don't
Christ.
know what you're saying right now.
So so marry marry Betty,
Right.
fuck Master Tang, kill the chosen one.
Wow.
Yep.
George?
What's the name? Master what?
Tang.
Tang? Probably fuck Master Tang because I don't know, he just seems like the friskiest dude.
Oh,
You know, he's
he's
doing
like,
the thing where he's like trying to use the wound.
Both of us.
Don't touch me, you're hurting me.
Yeah, he seems like he's a bit
He's a bit kinky.
kinky. He knows
One
he
night in
might,
heaven,
That's
that's it.
interesting. Yeah.
might teach you a few things.
Maybe.
Uh,
That's an interesting point.
Yeah.
It would be significant.
Yes.
I would probably marry Betty. Is that what you said? Is
Yes.
same answers?
Yep.
Oh wow,
Oh, okay.
good. I like
Sure,
it.
sir.
I like
Yeah.
it. Good, thank you.
Yeah, no,
I'd marry Betty. He's a man in power. He'll buy you nice things.
but he's a teddy bear on the
He's a
inside.
teddy bear on the inside.
Oh.
He likes music. I love music.
really like
I feel like
that.
we got similar interests.
Yes.
Even he's a little bit kinky. Open the mouth. What's that?
Dean's like a soundboard of the movie. So just randomly.
Dean's a soundboard in general, and I'm a very like $2 store version of that. I do everything very poorly.
It's a horrible thing in conversations with people that just don't get
Yes.
it.
And I'd
You kill the chosen
kill the
one.
chosen one.
Wow.
I don't know, he's kind of like he's got his thing going on. He's kind of like a one man sort of thing. Like he doesn't want,
Okay.
he's does his own thing. He's pretty, not that I'm that kind of, I'm not a material guy, but like he's pretty poor. You know what I mean? Like I want to go out, have a good time, and he just doesn't seem like he
He's still
seems like
carrying
a
around his
home kind of
booties
guy.
from when he was a little child.
Yeah,
Like,
it's-
come on, man, get a new pair of shoes.
Yeah, it's kind of like he's got some issues from a child.
Oh,
couldn't deal
wow.
with that.
Okay.
He's not one of those guys who go, I could fix him. Nah, I think he's good on it where he is.
Oh.
Yeah,
No,
I can stay away
good.
from that.
He's the loner type. And,
Oh. Okay, so I've got a very different answer to these two. Okay, so I was going to marry the chosen one. Am I the only one that's marrying the chosen one?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think so.
Purely because he's the hero. And then I can be like, chosen one!
I'm coming!
You know, I want to be like, chosen one! I don't know. So I was going to marry him for that reason. He can save me, from things. I don't know. Whatever you get saved from.
For things.
From things.
Oh no, the jar of the towel is going to fall on me. You just quickly catches it. There you go.
Exactly. Plus the tongue, you marry that. You have that forever. Okay?
True.
That's great for you.
Yeah.
That's great for you guys. I don't know about us. That's why we'd kill him, yeah.
I would fuck Betty. I don't
Nice.
know. He seems like
Why not?
a nice looking man.
Yeah.
Strong.
Yeah.
He'd be a good time.
Yeah.
Very
Exactly.
strong.
He, like,
That's
he-
always a very good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good
Exactly.
name to yell
Like he'd
out in
cuddle
bed.
you after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Betty.
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 Why would you do his voice? Why would you imitate him?
I don't know.
Maybe he
It's a
likes
shame.
it.
He likes it. There you go. He likes it. Anyway, and then I'd obviously have to kill Master.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Even though-
I think you're right for choosing to fuck Betty. He's like the guy that's gonna like stick around too and like give you a cuddle afterwards. Like he's not just gonna like
He's gonna make you
"Alright, I'm outta here."
breakfast. Yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah, he'll
make
make
a
you-
night out
yeah.
of it. Make a night out of it.
Exactly.
It's gonna be special.
Exactly.
But then we part ways and we think about each other sometimes throughout our life, but it will sit with
never-
you really nicely.
And he'll put you to sleep, Betty, with the paralyzer.
But so then we usually like to make an event of every movie night. So what would you prepare as a food and drink preparation to, like, you're hosting a party or just,
Yes.
with just yourself, basically?
Yes.
What would you eat and drink to pair with this film?
That
I
is so
personally,
easy
we
for
had
me.
zombies. We had zombies, which is like some kind of
Shut
like
up,
rum.
Dara. This is exactly what I put as my recommendation for like what you should drink because it's 3 different kinds of rum.
Yes. Yeah, it's dark rum, light rum, and 151, right? So it's 3 different types of rum. It's mostly rum, basically. And it tastes like juice, and it's great. And that's why I pounded 3 of these before watching this movie, and it was awesome for me. To me and for me. So if you Google, like, zombie, I have passion fruit puree is the key.
Ooh.
Is the key
sounds
ingredient.
lovely.
So you gotta get it. I know at least like around here, you can get them at most liquor stores or grocery stores. They just have them like in a row. There's like blueberry, raspberry, whatever. But passion fruit is the key to any good tiki cocktail. It's passion fruit puree.
Ah.
I like that.
And so, yeah, that's the key. And then basically, it's just mostly alcohol, tastes like nothing, amazing. And I think that's what you need during this film.
I love
So I
that.
guess,
I love that.
Right, I guess
really
Emily
do.
and I were spiritually on the same page here, which we typically are.
Well, here's my thought process is because it's one of those things, like, I took a very specific angle for what you should eat and drink for this movie. Because I was like, there was a lot of effort put into this, contrary to what it might seem.
Yes.
There was a lot of work went into this movie. And I think that's exactly how you should prepare your meals for this. So I said you should have a zombie, but for what you should eat, and I don't know if you guys have this in Australia, but if you've ever heard of Hamburger Helper.
Yeah, I have. So I've only heard the titles, but what exactly is it?
Yeah, what is that?
So it's basically, it's like...
Stupidest American thing that you can get at the grocery store.
We'll probably
it's
love
very,
it.
very American. It's one of those... It's like, it was for
It's like
me,
the glove,
it
isn't
feels like
it?
it was like... Huh?
Yes,
like,
That's
Yes,
like the little like guy. That's
Yeah.
like,
Yes,
yeah, that's
I
like
didn't know
that's
that.
the little like
Family Guy.
it's almost like a cheesy like pasta with meat sauce kind of thing, and it's just the like Dara said, it's the most American like bullshit sort of thing you could ever have. Like it was very like branded as like, oh, like the working parent who doesn't have time to like make like a like full real meal. It's like like make like ground beef and like
So
these,
you
like,
add
weird
the
pasta
hamburger.
and yeah,
The thing
and then
is,
it's
it's
like,
this box of like seasoning and pasta and bullshit. You put it into boiling water with like ground beef, and then you're supposed to have something edible at the end.
exactly.
Oh.
It's one of
sounds
it's one of those
weird.
like it is it's fucking weird. But it was
Is
one
it
of those
really
things
popular?
like one not really. It was just I mean,
I
it
think
was
everyone
like,
knows the name pastaroni. Like I think, or Hamburger Helper. Pastaroni is
yeah,
the same thing.
Like
but,
it was like. It's one of those things, like, for me, it's, like, because my mom worked late, like, and, like, when we were little, so it was, like, an easy, like, it was very, like, that easy thing to do or whatever.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it's popular, but, like, definitely, like, people, like, kind of grew up eating it. I haven't eaten it in probably 10 years now, but it's, like, one of those things.
Wow. That sounds kind of
But
cool.
it's, yeah,
We need to see it.
yeah.
it's not.
We've got a
But, like,
store here
I was, like,
in Australia called USA Foods. So you can get,
Uh-huh.
like, I like to go there and get Nilla wafers and the Jello vanilla
Those are
custard
good.
because I love making banana pudding that you can get at
Yeah.
Magnolia Bakery.
In New York, yeah.
Yeah, because we ate that so much when we were in New
wow.
York. I make that on the regular here. So we're at USA Foods quite often. I'm going to look for that next time we're there.
Hamburger.
Don't.
Helper.
Yeah,
Don't.
yes.
Don't. There's like
Just
a
for once, just for one
sodium warning.
experience.
Exactly,
there's, like,
like,
a
you
s-
have to do it once, yeah.
Is it the kind of food when your parents get divorced and you're visiting your dad on the
Yes,
weekend?
yeah,
And
that is exactly
that's
it.
what he makes you
Who hurt you?
while he's crying in his bedroom.
Yeah, that's exactly it. No, that's so. Oh my god, that's too accurate.
I'm sorry.
It
Didn't happen to me, but I can picture it.
Yeah, if your parents are divorced or if your mom's a nurse, that's like
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, that's exactly it. What about you guys?
For me, I'd go to, like, what I usually prep when it comes to watching a movie, or whenever I go to the movies, I always order the same thing. It's a Coke No Sugar, butter popcorn, and Maltesers. I don't know if you guys have Maltesers.
Nah, I think they're like
No.
they've
They're
got
called
their own.
they're called
version.
what are they called here? Whoppers.
Oh,
That's Hungry Jack's.
Same thing.
really?
Burger King
Yeah.
for them.
Oh, yeah,
Burger
yeah,
King
yeah.
for them.
So
Yeah.
they are these amazing chocolate balls, and they're like
Yeah.
crunchy.
The best of
You
popcorn.
eat them at the exact same time as popcorn, so you put a piece of popcorn and a Malteser in your mouth at the same time.
It's heaven.
Salty and
then
sweet.
and it's amazing, and then you swallow it down with Coke No Sugar. That is my version of a movie night. So that was my answer. I would have done that with any movie, any show, anything. That's what I'm eating. What you got?
So basically, in preparation for this movie, I'd probably bring out probably like the 12-year-old in me, and I would probably get like Mountain Dew.
Fuck.
Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah,
Sorry.
fuck.
And maybe some like Doritos.
Oh, nice. Some salsa.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, just like things that I enjoyed
Nice.
as a kid. So basically, just those two. And
Oh, nice.
like I'm not gonna make nachos out of it.
No,
or
you
anything
just
like that.
dip
I'm
it in the
just
salsa
Yeah.
jar.
I'll go real basic
Just
Nice.
cheese supreme Doritos.
Just-
Ooh, cheese supreme.
and just look down at my pants and see just
Yeah.
like. Just like
Grease.
Doritos and grease just on my just rubbed into my pants. So I would
Service
never
your
do
inner
now.
child.
Yeah.
Like, what
That's-
would fourth grade you want? Like,
Exactly.
yes, that's what would you get from a vending machine? Is
Exactly
like,
right.
In fourth grade is
Yes.
yeah. I see the vision.
For me, I've got two options. Two different types of meals. So one, because this movie kind of defies expectations before going into it.
Okay.
So if you don't know it, you might just think it's a martial arts movie. But it turns out it is a
It's
dumb
something
mess of a movie in the best
Oh,
way
yeah.
possible.
Yes.
So defy expectations. You know you're going to a dumb movie, but do you know what I'm going to make? I'm going to have a nice glass of Savoir, and I'm going to have some
Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc, and make some ratatouille.
Oh,
Why
jeez.
not? Completely defy expectations and do that. Or the other option, be the 10-year-old and have some Mountain Dew and some flaming hot Cheetos.
I love that though, because you like do the fancy thing, and then you like are like eating your fancy food, and then you feel a little guilty for laughing. You're like, this is a CGI baby. I'm drinking $30 wine.
Yeah, but that's when you
$30
kind
a
of like
lot,
get into
probably not.
character
I'm
and laugh
drinking-
like,
Yeah. Ooh, oh, so hilarious. Yeah.
hilarity.
And so then, if you were in this theoretical party in which you are, serving your guests, what movie do you show after this? I obviously had Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius because it's just like within that line of same,
yeah.
like, yes, it just makes sense. It's same writer, but also the vibes. Also, I have to say, this one time I was babysitting these kids. I was in like 6th grade, 7th grade. I was like 12 at best. I was babysitting. Like, who hires a 12-year-old to look after their kids?
Yeah.
Like, I shouldn't have been allowed to watch over anyone. But so
Yeah.
these kids I was babysitting, and they were like, oh, well, like, our mom tells us a story before bed. And I was like, I can't just read a book. And they're like, no, you have to, like, tell a story. And I was like, okay, like, fine. And so from the depths of my brain, I was like, what is the plot of the Jimmy Neutron movie? And I was like, so
Very good.
all the parents go away. And what do you do? And so then, like, for like 45 minutes, I told these kids, I just recited the plot of the Jimmy Neutron movie. And then afterwards, the parents were like, yeah, they loved you. They said you told the best bedtime story. And in my head, I was like, oh my God, I was plagiarizing. I was
You just had the Wikipedia
Jimmy Neutron
synopsis on your phone.
movie.
Did you sing him?
Yeah,
that
right,
song?
yeah,
We're
like,
the
my
kids
back
in
was like-
America.
Whoa.
Did you sing that?
Like, not even, though, because I was in, like, 6th grade. Like, I don't know who was letting me, like, watch somebody's kids. But I was like, yeah, I'll just tell you about the Jimmy Neutron movie until you fall asleep because you're 5. But, yeah, that's Steve Odenkirk, the line, that's what made me
Very
think.
good.
So,
Very good.
If you started seeing kids in America, I reckon the FBI would have kicked down your door with copyright infringement notices.
what about you, Em?
So obviously, maybe not obviously, but like, okay, 2002, like, kung fu movie, right? 2003, on the exact opposite end of the spectrum, is Kill Bill.
Kill Bill. That's,
They're on,
Full
like,
circle.
it's literally,
Full circle.
Kung Pao is right here, and Kill Bill is right here on the opposite end of the spectrum, and they're just so far, like, away from each other, but also
Yes.
it's, like, it was the same general idea, you know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
It was birthed from the same concept.
Yes.
No,
How-
I couldn't agree more, because when I was watching this, I was like, I've never seen a 1970s kung fu movie, but I've seen Kill Bill.
Yeah.
And Kill Bill is doing this, like for at least a portion of it.
They just
you
had a
know,
bigger
that, like-
budget. Just a
right, the
bigger budget.
parody of the
Yeah,
genre. So I was
exactly.
like, the references I got were because I've seen Kill Bill, not
Yeah.
because I've seen any 70s kung fu movies.
Yeah. See, Kill Bill was like the logical choice that I had, and I was like, this makes sense. However, the one that my heart came up with was Rugrats in Paris. I think.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I haven't
Yes.
seen that in years.
Which is definitely just because I was thinking about Jimmy Neutron, and then I was like, what other, like, movies from my childhood, like, stick out a little bit? And for some reason, and, like, also, like, I watched Rugrats in Paris within the last 2 years, and I was like, this is funny. Like, I'm having a great time
We
watching
still have
this.
VHS of that,
Funny
yes.
movies. Or Rugrats
So I'm
Go
gonna give you
Wild.
two-
Hilarious.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you two very different options. It's
I
Kill
like that
Bill
a lot.
or Rugrats in Paris.
See, I had a completely different way of thinking when it came to what
Okay.
movie you would show someone after this. I was like, what's going to bring this person back down to earth and put
Yes.
a right mind back into them? Because I'm sure Kung Pao would have made them nearly insane. So I would have showed them like Shawshank Redemption or something.
Oh,
Kind of
Okay.
bring them back down to
Oh,
earth.
okay.
You know, and be like,
No, I
okay,
like that.
I'm sorry for rotting your brain
the complete opposite.
for like 90 minutes or however long it goes for. Let's bring in probably the best movie ever made to bring you back up. You know, that would be
I like
me.
that.
I like it.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes,
It's very
yes.
thoughtful.
Thank you.
You're a
Thank
good
you.
host.
Yeah, no, you need the 180 sometimes too. I like a hard cut. Variety is the spice of life.
Yeah.
I think the great thing about Kung Pao is that it's a great starter because it makes any movie that follows a lot better.
Right.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what
Of course.
it's like. In stand-up comedy, you got the opening act,
yes.
and he or she can be crap,
Yes.
and you're just waiting for the main act. So whatever they say is just going to be a lot better because you've just watched
Yes. Interesting.
that verbal diarrhea. But anyway, what I would probably show is I'd probably stick with the same genre. I'd stick with comedy, but I'd probably go with something that's a little bit better, but will
Yeah.
make it just that little bit funnier. So a personal favorite of mine is Grandma's Boy.
Oh, that is a gold movie.
So I don't know if you guys have seen Grandma's Boy. It's basically I basically like anything that's stoner comedy, even though I'm not really a stoner. So I would probably go with Grandma's
It's
Boy just because.
essentially
Oh.
an Adam Sandler movie without Adam Sandler, but it's got everyone in the movie who's usually in his movies.
Like all of Adam
Oh,
Sandler's
okay,
friends.
word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Nick Swartzen and
Alan Covert.
Alan
Yeah.
Covert. You
I
know?
highly recommend it.
It's very funny.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
He was
okay.
too busy, like, doing something else.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
they were like, well,
Exactly.
the show must go on.
Yeah, like
Exactly.
we need to make this movie. So,
Yeah.
oh, just do it without me. It was one of those situations.
Basically, it's not a great movie, but
Okay.
I love it. So,
Yes.
and if you start with
compared
Kung
to
Pao,
this,
yeah,
Yes.
It looked like
Exactly.
a masterpiece.
exactly.
Exactly.
I saw this IMDb review today. I was just reading a bunch of IMDb reviews of Kung Pao, and someone just said, "I wonder what was going on in the mind of Steve Odenkirk when he made
Yes.
this movie." And I thought, you know what? Do you know what I'd show? Inside Out.
Oh.
Oh. I like that.
It's something to like. You're gonna you just watched probably the dumbest movie you have ever seen in your life,
Yes.
one that you just turn your brain off and enjoy.
Yes.
Whereas Inside Out, you flick it back on, it makes you think, it makes you laugh, it makes you cry, feel the emotions of a movie rather than just having to completely zone out and go from watching Kung Pao.
Interesting.
So kind of finding the opposites in it without going like
got very good answers.
rather than going like very dramatic and finding like another World War II movie
Yes.
to cry about. No, something a bit more like down to earth that we can relate to.
I like that.
Yeah.
Dean. Lovely. Lovely.
There
Oh.
you go.
Such a good choice.
Yes.
That movie made me cry, but
me
like
too.
most things made me cry, so
I'm
it's
with
not,
you.
But I remember being in the theater being like, I'm so embarrassed to leave right now and walk
got
into the sunlight because
to
everyone
get to the damn moon.
tears.
That's her. That's
That is
you.
me. I cry at everything.
What did we watch last night that made you cry? We watched
What?
we watched Kevin Costner talking at Whitney Houston's
I was gonna make
at
everyone cry.
funeral. Yeah, I know, but like, isn't that just so random? Like, we
It
just
is random, but that's gonna make anyone cry.
Kevin Costner talked at Whitney Houston's funeral. I know they did the
20
movie
minutes
together.
yeah,
Wow.
they were
That's
really they were
amazing.
close.
Oh shit! The more you know.
That's anyone would cry at Whitney Houston's funeral.
Yeah. 100%.
I'm not saying it's wrong that you cry. I'm just
Okay.
saying it's just random that it just came on
Oh my god.
and we sort of went on a YouTube rampage.
I go to school for advertising, and sometimes they'll show us an advertisement as like an example, and like I'll tear up. Like some advertisements,
Yes.
they just like tug at your heartstrings.
Yes.
Like the ones about like the homeless dogs.
Yep.
And the
Yes.
I don't even sometimes they're trying to sell you soap, but they tell a
Listen.
story about like a broken family, and you're just
Oh my
I
God.
just get welled up. And everyone in my program always laughs at me, but I'm like, I'm gonna emotional right
No,
now.
no,
This
no, no, no.
advertisement.
That's so valid. There's this one like Glade candle commercial that comes on around the holidays every single year, and I have to leave the room because I will start crying.
I can
No,
relate to you guys. I really can.
just good commercials that can change your aspect of life. Like when Kendall Jenner gave someone a Pepsi and
Oh my
ultimately defeated
God.
racism.
Oh.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Oh.
That is a prime example. As somebody who is in insurmountable debt to go to advertising school, that is the prime example they show us to tell you this is what not to do. They're like this is the worst thing anyone's ever done. So just like take a look at that. But those were all really great suggestions, and once again, thank you guys so much for being on our show. We really appreciated you having us and us having you.
Thank
And the
you.
podcast switchery that had here, and I appreciate you making me watch this fucking stupid movie because I kind of had a good time watching it.
I'm
You're
so
welcome.
glad. I'm so glad.
I feel like I'm a better person now having seen it. You know what
That
I
is
mean?
so good
It's
to
just one of
hear.
those. Yeah, it's just one of those
It
things.
humbled me.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You're like, okay, I learned something about myself and about movies
Yeah.
in general.
so
You know what I
glad.
mean? I got something out of this.
And no, and as we go into award season, I think I get on my high horse because, you know, I just think my opinion is fact. And so as we go into award season, as we're watching all these critically acclaimed films, you know, and evaluating them on a very high level, I just need to get grounded and say
Yes.
yes.
Well, that can be a double
Somebody
feature.
kung fu fighting a cow
Yeah.
is fucking
Yeah, well,
hilarious. and
that
it's,
can be a double feature now. Go watch Belfast now. Or Power of the Dog.
Yeah, go watch whatever won. Yeah, Power of the Dog, whatever won Golden Globes.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for being on our show.
No, thank
As
you.
always, all of the links to everything in the description, their stuff, our stuff, all the stuff. Go follow 3 Tickets Too. Go follow us if you don't follow us. What are you doing? You're an
Yeah, what are you doing?
hour and a half into a podcast. You don't follow
Come
us?
on.
I know.
Go follow us.
The audacity.
And just like keep your eyes peeled if anyone wants to give me $10 million to like dub The Godfather as Toad.
I know.
Like I'm open to it. So just like keep your eyes peeled. That trailer might be coming, you know, sooner
Yes,
than
that
later.
is a golden
because
ticket
it
idea.
Clearly, have
I'd love a producing credit for that.
yeah,
Yes.
For
Yes.
sure. But please put us.
Consulting producer.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll get you in on it.
But so this concludes our Chaos Month, and I think this was
Wow.
you gave us perhaps the most chaotic film
Perfect.
of all, and for that, yeah, we are eternally grateful. So to all of our listeners, goodbye and good night, and we love you.
We love you too.
Bye.
Please follow us. Well, it was vice versa.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then there's us, some 3 random Australians.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow.
Congratulations.
That is awesome. Yeah.
That's right. One day the podcast will be your job anyway.
Yeah.
Bad. Oh.
She's the greatest.
That is fantastic.
What a goat.
sweetheart.
She's the goat.
She is. She's amazing. We love her here.
Don't be offended. Oh.
It's
fantastic.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Don't be offended if she's on our show next week
Yes.
and you guys aren't.
And you guys aren't. I'm telling you now, we're changing our brand to 4 Tickets Too.
100%.
I know. She's gonna leave you guys one day to get her own.
There's
podcast.
5 of us here, and she becomes the most successful in the podcast
I
world.
know.
Oh, that'd be great.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yes. 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 Yes.